Well, guys, we'll start. Waited enough. Still see few people haven't joined today. Only 9 of us, but still we'll go ahead and start today's topic. So yesterday we did load balancer. Under load balancer, we covered that how can we make sure that the help probes have been set up, the traffic is being flown to the uh, only up and running servers, and it's not only checking if the server is shut down or running, but it is also checking if that particular service for which the load balancer has been created that is working. In yesterday's session, we checked HTTP, right? We checked website. That is the most of the time scenario you will see why they are using load balancer. But instead of that, we could have FTP, we could have some SharePoint, we could have RDP. No one actually uses this for RDP, but you can give it a try using load balancer. Have four servers in the background. Use the load balancer IP. Try taking RDP, and then how you will be taken to different servers every time. Then if you shut down two of them, then you will be uh, routing to only active servers. Even if you don't shut down the server, if you just turn off 3389 port, then also it will consider that server is shut down or it is not working. So we have seen all this. We have seen this in yesterday's practical. Today we are going to do quite similar thing on application gateway. Under load balancing, I told you we have load balancer, we have application gateway, we have traffic manager, front door. Initially, I told you guys that I'll only show you load balancer, rest you guys can try. But then I thought let's see application gateway also. We'll do it once, right? So we'll cover two things. Load balancer we have already done. Today we'll do application gateway. Traffic manager front door, if you want, you can try it. If not, it's okay even if you don't try it. But you should remember these differences. I explained them yesterday in detailed manner, right? Because when we do application gateway, you'll get the fair idea of traffic manager and front door. They're almost similar when it comes to deployment on portal. Load balancer a little bit different, hence I covered load balancer, and today I'm covering application gateway. Right. Yesterday, I think Obed, you asked the limit of load balancer, front-end IP, etc. So I shared one article there. The all the limits it's given in that particular article. It was from Microsoft, so you can trust on that. Uh, we did this practical here. I've just written the basic details. We did see, uh, let me check what else do we have here. Load balancer, front end, back end pool, health probe. I did explain everything here. Still, if you want, you can go ahead. Okay, here is that volume availability or set standard. Load balancer SQ. If I take basic, what will I get? If I take standard, what will I get? This difference is also here, but this could be old information. This is old table. You can always go ahead and check Microsoft's website for differences and everything. What else do we have? Yes, this is for traffic manager. We are not covering it today, or we'll just see. Maybe we'll stick to application gateway. I may explain this to you in the theory part. Right? So let's go ahead and start reading about the application gateway at least. So application gateway it is a regional service, zone redundancy available. It works only for HTTP and HTTPS ports. For example, in fact, I was telling you that you guys can try it for RDP. Load balancer, you can try it for RDP. But if I want to try application gateway for RDP, it will not work. If I want to try application gateway for FTP, it will not work. If I want to try application gateway for some other service, some other port, it will not work, right? It will only work, it won't work for SSH also. So it will only work for traffic, HTTP and HTTPS, right? It works on layer 7. This we have already established. All of them work on layer 7 except for load balancer. Load balancer works on layer 4. It has a feature called WAF. It is optional. You don't have to take it, but it is optional. It is web application firewall. It gives you very granular control apart from your firewall and apart from your NSG. NSG is just to control the traffic at the subnet level, right? But web application firewall, it will give you very detailed control, granular control on the traffic which is coming from outside. It will have custom rules like geolocation traffic. For example, I do not want any traffic on my application from Nigeria. Right? I'm just taking random names. So let's say that I do not want any traffic from Nigeria. Right? I can control that in WAF, Web Application Firewall, which I get only with Application Gateway, not with load balancer. Right? Then it has path-based and multi-site routing. If I have multiple sites, I can still use Application Gateway. Path-based, I did explain it to you, images and video example. On one server also, if I have images separately, I can use the application gateway on one link itself. Let's say if I come with google.com/images, then it should go to this particular backend pool. If I'm coming with google.com/videos, then it should go to some certain backend pool, right? So this is how application gateway, it's different. SSL termination, what is this? We are going to see, but not now. Now if I read it, maybe you will not get it properly. Backend, we have already checked backend. Like backend we have in load balancer. Similarly, backend is here. Between your application gateway and your backend servers, what all can we join in backend? The difference between load balancer and here, we can have IP. We could have IP over there also. Fully qualified domain name, VM, VMSs. Everything was same, but here we can have web apps also. In load balancer, we cannot have web apps. Right? So let's go ahead and start checking the details here. So this is again load balancer, traffic manager. We'll come to that later. Mm, resource mover not required here. Okay, so let's go to the portal and check. Before we go there, before we start application gateway, anyone has any question, any doubt on load balancer or whatever we did yesterday? I saw a few of you guys did practical, though it wasn't assigned, but yes, you guys did it. Most of you did it correctly. So any doubts, any questions, guys?
No.
Okay. Right. So let's go ahead and yeah, yesterday you were asking about fully qualified domain name. So just to show you, it's not a practical, but just to show you, I have created one application gateway using fully qualified domain name. Fully qualified domain name, it's nothing. Uh, it is your domain name. For example, my domain name is UT-Kloud, and this is my domain, UT-Kloud. Fully qualified domain name is www utcloud.com. This is fully qualified name, right? If I want to access mail on my website, if I have configured, right, then it will be, it depends how I have kept it. Mail.utcloud. Though I don't have anything, so you won't see anything. This is fully qualified domain name, where you have the complete end-to-end name that is known as fully qualified domain name. So we can use fully qualified domain name in application gateway. Let's have a look at that. So here, if I check my application gateway, one more major difference is there in application gateway and load balancer. I'll come to that. While deploying, I'll show it to you. So this is the application gateway I have already deployed. If I go to backend pool, under backend pool, we can have our virtual machines, VMSs, etc. Right? And one more option is there called fully qualified domain name. So see, this is what fully qualified domain name is. I can have this public IP. I can have this IP, and I can simply just direct them to any public website. Even if I don't own this website, it's okay because I'm not doing anything, I'm not changing anything. You access Google directly, or you go ahead with this application gateways public IP. For Google, you're not a threat. For Yahoo.com or Facebook.com, if you're coming through that, you're not a threat, right? So they allow you can put any fully qualified domain name here. Okay, so I can put uh, either IP address. If I know the IP address, particular IP address of any website, I can do that. I can put IP address of load balancer also. I can put any IP address which is uh, available, which can be connected. I can do that, or I can type any fully qualified domain name. So this is my fully qualified domain name. In this case, I am controlling my application gateway and backend. Do I have control? Do I have any control on these websites? At least these two. This one also. I mean, if I keep it aside that this is my website, we don't have any control over there, but we are just redirecting the traffic in this case, right? But yes, have we put any health probe? Yes, we'll always put some health probe, right? It will not directly go to those servers. Why can't it go to those servers? Because it doesn't have access, but it will always keep checking the connectivity with them. And this is how it will work. Now, if I go ahead and check this IP, it should take me to google.com or UT-Kloud or Facebook or any of these. Even if you guys want, you can check this 48, uh, this IP 48, 194, 75, 125. If you hit enter, you should see one of these pages, either utcloud.in or google.com or facebook.com, whatever I have put there. This is your fully qualified domain name. You can use it in load balancer also, and you can use it in application gateway also. Right? This is not our practical, just wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to deploy one application gateway just to see what all options are there. There are plenty of options which have been changed. There are multiple changes you will see and on regular basis. So make sure you always follow the portal and you always keep practicing on this. Do not go on anything which you have written based on our sessions. Do not go anything on which I have mentioned here in OneNote, right? This could be old, this is not updated. Maybe this was written last month and this month we have some changes. So always trust on the portal. So this is how you can use application gateway with a fully qualified domain name. This was already prepared, so let me go ahead and delete it, and we are going to create one from scratch. Before we do that, let me quickly show that what am I going to use in backend. In backend, here we have an option to use uh, web app also. So let's quickly check. I have one function app. I'll show it to you. You guys can go ahead and check if you guys are able to access that function app, and then we'll check this via application gateway. And I also have some servers in place. So first thing, let's check my this one. Function app. So this is my function app. Please go ahead and check if you guys are able to access. It is on the default page. I have not uploaded any page or I haven't done anything to this. So if you simply just go and use that website, this is what you should see. See, your function app is up and running. Though this page is not customized, my website is not working here yet. But are you guys able to access? Just let me know.
Yes, I'm able to access.
Okay, great. So if you guys are able to
Fine.
access, great. Right. So this is my website as of now. We are not doing anything with this one. Just wanted to show you that application gateway supports function app. Now, what is function app, web app, etc.? Do not worry about it. That we are going to cover under this PaaS service, app services, right? There we are going to cover. But it's not a major thing though. Till now, what we have been doing, we have been deploying virtual machines, be it Linux or Windows, and on top of that, we are hosting website. But here, without having a server, you can directly have a website. You can have a function app and just dump your code over there, and yes, your website is up and running. But when I say something serverless, is it actually serverless, guys?
No.
Is it literally serverless? No, definitely not.
No,
Look
no,
at this.
no, no.
While creating this function app, I did not have any option to select server or anything, what should be RAM, nothing. Azure is doing it for me. But if you check in the backend, Azure is also using a server. So server will always be there. When we say serverless, it simply means I am not handling that server, but server is always there. Similarly, load balancer. Is it a PaaS service for me, or am I taking care of the load balancer? Am I worried that load balancer is hosted on which server? Do I have to take care of that?
No. No.
No. No.
Right? So for me, it's a PaaS service. But does it mean that load balancer is working just in the thin air, nowhere, without any hardware? Do you think that that is how it works? राइट यू कॉल इट लोड
No,
बैलेंसर
no,
कुछ भी हो वो
that's
अल्टीमेटली एक सर्वर पे ही चल रहा है बीट लिनक्स सर्वर बीट
not.
विंडोज सर्वर बट Azure is taking care of that server. Azure is taking care of the hardware as well underneath that. That is what our PaaS services are. Similarly, uh, function app, right? But we'll come to this later. So let's go ahead and start creating our application gateway. So either I can search for application gateway or I can search for load balancer. I'll be redirected to this page, and here I have an option to see my existing load balancer. Let's see if there is any. I'll delete at least if there is anyone, if there is anything. So I'll have few public IPs available. So let's quickly check if I do have anything. After that, here we can check our application gateways, existing application gateway, and we'll get an option to create new also. Uh, Now my existing application gateway, the one which I had, I just deleted, so that will not appear here. First, let's wait for the load balancer. Or if it is taking too much time, let's quickly click on application gateway. We'll have to wait here because even if there is no existing, uh, create new button will also appear here. So we don't have any option to skip this one. See, no application gateway, create one. So click on create. We're not dealing with application gateway for containers. That's not a part of Azure admin. This is part of a DevOps. Right? Application gateway. Distribute web traffic for VM based workloads. Not necessarily VM based, it can be app services also. Before I go ahead and create this, let me quickly show you that what servers do I have and how am I planning to show you application gateway. So if I go here, 3 servers I have already hosted. A different one I have just taken on Windows because I wanted to show you something. Though it doesn't mean that what I want to show you, it won't happen on Linux, but on Linux it will be very confusing for you. Windows, at least you get to see something, so you'll have a fair idea. Now, if you guys can just go and randomly access these IP addresses and let me know what do you guys see. You can just try one IP each and you can tell me that what do you see. And meanwhile, I'll open it for you guys. So these 3 servers I'll be using as backend today. So if I go here, this is my first server. This is my second server. Just to get you that feeling, I have now today we have hosted exact same application on all of them. So you'll get the actual feeling that what how it works when the backend is down. But for to check our practical whether it is working or not, I've just added one line. This is on server 3. This is on server 2. This is on server 1. So at least we'll know that yes, when we shut down the server 1, right? When we shut down the server 1, we are our traffic is being routed only on 2 and 3. When I shut down the 3, traffic is routing only on 2. Just for that, I kept this one. Otherwise, rest all the website and everything is same. Got it, guys? So let's go ahead and check this. Yes, I got the answer. Server 3, server 1, someone is connected to server 2. Fine, guys. So these are the machines I am planning to put in the backend. Do I actually need public IP? If I didn't want to go ahead and set up the machine, set up the website over there, right? If the in the actual environment, I will be able to connect to this machine from the public, from the private IP. I'll be able to take the RDP, right? So I don't actually need any public IP. Here I want you guys to check. I want to access the website. Hence I have this public IP. Otherwise, we don't need the public IP. So now our 3 machines are up and ready. Now let's go ahead and start creating our application gateway. This one, resource group, it's okay. You can create anything. I'll name it as UT-Kloud application gateway, right? Then I will have can we say application gateway and load balancer are similar entities? Yes, of course, they are quite similar. Both of them, in fact, not application gateway and load balancer. A load balancer, application gateway, traffic manager, and front door. They are exactly look like or similar. They all are load balancing feature, but they have their own pro and cons. They have their own features. But yes, they are obviously same. Okay? So I'm naming it as application gateway. This is the name. I'm putting region East US because my services and everything is in East US. Sorry. Now here it is, tier. Right? So if I select tier basic, see what is the major change you guys see? Let me know. Under basic, what you don't see In the moment I go to standard version 2, what do you see? Because sometimes they do ask question that what are the different tiers and what are the differences. So there are three
Instance
tiers:
count.
basic,
Instance count.
basic, standard, and WAF. WAF I have already told you what is it, right? If you go with basic and standard, you don't get WAF. If you go with WAF version, then only you get WAF. What is WAF? Web application firewall, right? If you have firewall, see you can uh, create the policy, etc. We'll see this when we learn firewall. But here we are learning application gateway. If we go ahead with WAF, you get web application firewall. If you go ahead with standard and basic, then what is the difference? You're just rating it instance count. What is it? What exactly do you mean by that instance count?
Auto
At
scaling.
the back end
Auto
of
scaling. Yes,
load
auto
balance.
scaling.
Yes.
Auto scaling is the feature. No, no, not this instance count. Now, when I say auto scaling, what is it exactly going to do? If I keep minimum 0, maximum 10, what is it going to do? What do you think? In backend now, sorry, yes.
We will be able to create only 10 virtual machines at the back end of application gateway.
Okay. What about others?
Increase the number of virtual machine
Which virtual
according
machine?
to the traffic.
These virtual machines?
Maximum, yes.
Okay. So Shaheen, it was you, right? Initially, you said that we can have only 10 machines. Nagma said we can have only, it will increase these machines count. Anyone else?
Yeah, if the load will be high, means if the tariff will be high, then it's up to the maximum instruction will be 10.
But which
Can you say?
instances? These instances are you saying?
No, no.
Then
Application gateway.
Application gateway.
yes, guys. It is not talking about these instances. These are my backend machine. This setting has nothing to do with my backend, right? It doesn't even know what I'm going to put in my backend. What is it talking about? Enable auto scaling. It will increase machines. It will increase instances. But which machine? Machine which is holding your load balancer. Do you remember yesterday's lecture? I started with this. Load balancer bhi kahan par hota hai? For us, it is just looking like this icon. But what is it exactly? इसके पीछे क्या चल रहा है? Load balancer कहाँ पर है?
Server.
It is on a
Server part.
server, right? Though I am not managing that server, I am not building that server, I am not creating the server, but there is a server. I told you in on-prem days we used to create Windows server and Windows server को ही हम load balancer बनाते थे. So nowadays also it's quite similar, but you are not doing it. The moment you select load balancer in the backend, Azure is spinning one server. On that there is a load balancer और उसी load balancer को आप use कर रहे हो. Right? It could be Linux server, Windows server, whatever. We don't even know. 4 GB RAM होगा, 6 GB RAM होगा, कितना CPU होगा, we don't know. Right? Because it is a PaaS service. We don't have to worry about the infrastructure. We don't have to worry about the operating system. But I hope the logic still it's same. It is on a server. So अगर ये एक चीज server पे है and I have created this for 1,000 users and suddenly my video went viral, something happened, whatever it is, right? I am getting more customers. I'm getting 10,000 per day. I'm okay with my machines. मेरी machines का मैंने virtual machine skill set पहले से कर लिया था. Fine. I'm okay with this. Let me open this one if you guys are getting confused. Let me see if we have application gateway. Here it is. This is my application gateway. Okay. I am not worried about these machines. Here I already have, let's say, I already have 3 machines, 4 machines, or I'm already using virtual machine scale set. So be 1,000 aa jaye, 10,000 aa jaye, I'm ready with it. I am worried about this part. If this load balancer is handling 1,000 users and suddenly 10,000 users are coming, do you think the same load balancer is useful for me? Or application
No.
gateway, sorry, not the load balancer.
No,
We're
no.
talking about application
No,
gateway.
no.
No, right? So what do I need? I need immediately the moment some traffic is extra, what do I need? I need extra load balancer here with the same setting and everything. If it is increasing more, I need one more here. Increasing, I need one more here. Getting it, guys?
Yes, got the point.
So it's it won't literally increase the load balancer. You won't see two load balancers. I hope you're getting that. It will increase the load balancer's capacity. It will increase the server of load balancer. Right? How is it doing? Not none of your business. Azure is doing it. It is taking care of how it is copying your rules, how it will make sure that everything stays transparent. You don't even come to know. You don't have to worry about it. Maybe they're using one image, whatever they're doing it. You don't have to worry about it. Microsoft's engineer will take care of that. But did you get the point that what exactly it will change? It is not going to change your backend instances. It is talking about the instances on which your load balancer is hosted. I hope the point is clear to everyone, right?
Yes.
So in this case,
Yes.
either I want auto scaling or I don't want, won't make any sense. I mean, we are hardly going to check this with 5 or 10 requests, so I'll just go ahead with no. But main difference is if I select basic, I don't have the load balancer feature. If I, sorry, auto scaling feature. If I select standard version 2, I have auto scaling. And WAF name itself says what does it have, right? WAF has obviously auto scaling, and top of that, it has this one, web application firewall. The moment I go to standard, auto scaling is there, but WAF is missing. The moment I go to basic, no auto scaling, no WAF. This you have to remember. Okay. Now, auto scaling, let's go ahead with no. Instance count, 1 is also fine. Well, still dealing with IPv4. Don't worry about HTTP2. Uh, say if we keep going one by one, application gateway itself take 4 to 5 weeks, right? So, and skipping parts which are not important, which will not be asked in interview, and which are not frequently used, right? So don't worry about it. Uh, Federal information processing, don't you have to worry. Keep it disabled. Virtual network. This is the virtual network where I want to host my uh, application gateway. This is very important. Now, if you have an application gateway, if you have a virtual network, right? Let me go ahead. Let me show you something. I'll quickly create one virtual network. May take some time, guys, but it is for your betterment. I could simply go ahead and click next and explain everything in theory part, but I don't want to do that. So you see more options, you will be able to remember. So let me create one virtual network. So I'm creating one virtual network here. We are doing it everything in East US. Just bear with me for some time, guys. I know the portal is slow today. Someone already texted that. What I'm trying to show you here is because in this virtual network, I already have a subnet. By the way, which are the scenario where we require special subnet while this is being
Azure
created?
Bastion,
Okay, what
Azure
is the subnet
Bastion.
name?
Yes.
Azure Bastion subnet, and for
Which other
gateway subnet,
service?
gateway VPN gateway,
Gateway.
we need
Okay,
gateway subnet,
okay. What
and
else?
for firewall,
Hmm.
I think firewall subnet. Sorry, firewall gateway.
It is a Azure, I think, firewall subnet. We'll see. What is it? It will always be there. Apart from that, nowadays we also have, it wasn't there already, but we also have Azure
I
Firewall
think
Policy Management Subnet. We'll see that whenever we're doing the policy. I'll make, I think somewhere I have written it, but
yeah,
it's not updated. I'll amend it properly. I'll highlight it and I'll share it with you guys.
I think in Azure we have five. We need five dedicated subnet.
Right, 5 or 6 nowadays, I guess. They have
Yes,
created a separate dedicated subnet for firewall and dedicated subnet for firewall policy. It was not there. But don't worry, when I come to that topic, prior to that, I will mention that somewhere. It was here somewhere. I'll search it. I'll share it with you guys also. And as of now, that information is not updated because firewall management subnet is not a part of that. Somewhere it was written here. I don't know where it went. I'll check that, don't worry. But you remember the concept of special subnet, right? Similarly, for your application gateway, we need a dedicated subnet. I won't call it a special subnet, but it is a dedicated subnet, right? How is it different? Let me show it to you. Now, here, can you see application gateway subnet? This is
Yes.
the subnet I have created for my application gateway. This one I had already, this is not going down. Can you see I have one more subnet, load balancer subnet. Okay. It is not literally load balancer subnet. There is no such thing called load balancer subnet. I've just named it as load balancer subnet. But am I able to host my application gateway on this one?
No, it is dedicated for load balancer instances, I think.
Not really. This is not dedicated. You can have anything on this one. On load balancer subnet, don't get confused by the name. I have just named it LB subnet. You can XYZ subnet. You can write it XYZ subnet. Even if it was XYZ subnet, it won't work here for application gateway. Okay? It's
We
not because
require
it is load
dedicated
balancer subnet.
subnet.
Yes. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that you need application gateway subnet. ये नाम से कोई मतलब नहीं है इसको. Like
Yeah, name could
in
be anything in the
name
application
could
gateway.
be anything, yes. But what do you mean by dedicated subnet then? If name could be anything, then why am I not able to use this one?
Yeah, but we require when we create a virtual network, so that time we need to select the application gateway for the
No,
subnet.
no. There is no such option. That is what I'm trying to explain. Good, you brought up. What do you think, guys? More. Till the time this page comes, we have time for brainstorming session. So what do you think? Good thinking, but no, that is not the
No,
actual
for the
answer.
dedicated subnet for the Azure firewall application gateway, when we means when instance will be in increases, so that time that instance will be take the IP address from that subnet,
I got that
I
point.
guess.
It can take it from here also, right? Why am I not able to select this one and why am I able to select this? It is not because of name. Don't get confused. Or let me change
It
this.
is maybe because of security purpose.
What do you mean by security
Uh,
purpose?
Security means,
All subnets are same. My
traffic.
all subnets are same. They're using one NSG. And look at this. The moment I
Yes.
changed virtual network, I'm able to select subnet web subnet for application gateway. I'm able to select a subnet name web subnet for application gateway. And I have created this for you guys. Wrong name application. Okay. So it is not following the naming convention. I am still able to select this subnet. So be it any name, I'm able to select these two. When I come to this one, I'm able to select this one, but I'm not able to select only this particular. Just to be clear, it has nothing to do with name. Just because I have named it as load balancer, don't think in that way. But think, why am I not able to create it? I've given you a hint. I need a dedicated subnet. What do you understand by a term dedicated?
Term dedicated means when we create a virtual network, so that time in the subnet we need to select the application gateway in the subnet option.
No,
Like
not really.
so,
Not really. What else comes to your mind when you select when you think dedicated? Forget Azure. When I say dedicated, what do you understand by that?
There shouldn't be
Purpose
any
of the
workload
subnet.
running in that.
Got it. There should not be anything else in that. Well, let's go ahead and I'll show it to you first. At least this point will be clear for you that it has nothing to do with the name and there is no naming convention when it comes to here. So let's say if I create some virtual network, if I go to subnet here, add subnet, understand the difference between special subnet and dedicated subnet. Azure firewall subnet, it's a special subnet. Gateway subnet, it is a special subnet, right? Guys, this will take some time to load and we have only 30 seconds left in this session. Do you guys need a break?
No. Yes, we
yes,
need.
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a break. Sharp 12:45, 4 minutes break. 12:45 we'll resume and then we'll discuss this. I'm stopping the session.